Welcome to it. Power stories again on a beautiful Sunday evening. Well, I hope it's a beautiful Sunday evening for most of you. I'm about to go live with Kerusha, who is my guest for tonight's live. I'm so excited. Let me just check if she's online already. I think she is. She's online, but the thing is, I can't invite her, which is the most strangest thing. Come on, Instagram, please don't act up today. Like, let me just look for her again. This is so weird. It always, I don't know why it does this, but when I use this page specifically, it sometimes gives me problems. Having a little bit of a malfunction. I'm trying to invite our feature for tonight's live, my friend Kerusha, but I'm actually not finding her. Um, all right, let me log out and then I'll log back in. Hopefully by then. Oh, there we go. There we go. You've just waved. I'm actually trying to. There we go. Okay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I see that she's waiting for me. Hey, what's up?
Babes, how are you? It's so nice to
I'm
see
good, thanks. How are you
you.
doing?
Good, thanks, man.
Good. You
It's
look
been
gorgeous as always.
girl, I feel bad.
I
I only put
know.
the makeup on for you. I just put a
Oh no, you
yash and then right here with my.
with your glass of wine. See, I don't have wine. I finished my wine last night, and I was like, oh man, I should have saved some for today.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I haven't been drinking this lockdown at all because I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, drinking alone is not ideal. So whenever I get the opportunity to crack one out, then yeah.
But thank you so much for obviously taking up the time to chat with me tonight and catch up. I'm so happy and I'm so excited, and it's just been so long since we've actually physically seen each other, number one, and had a young catch up.
Telling you, it has been.
How's your Sunday been otherwise? How's life? How's family? And Joburg and just life in general?
I mean, we were load shedded today
Yeah.
from 8 to 12:30, but then there's a fault in my area that we've had for a while. So my lights only came back on at 3:30, girl. 8
Oh
to
my gosh. That
It's
is
quite, I
insane.
know, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, it's been chilled. I have two little puppies that I'm looking after. I
Yes,
fostered
the ones.
three of them.
Yeah.
Gosh, almost 3 weeks ago on Tuesday, so two and
Mm,
something.
yeah.
And yeah, so I've got two left. Three potential families came to see them yesterday. So
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, they'll be ready to go in the week.
Oh,
That's
shame, man. I've seen two of them. They're so
it's so
cute.
shame. Yeah,
Oh, I
so
just hope they get to go to really good families,
good
you know?
homes. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's
That's what it's
awesome. But thanks for coming on Power Stories. Thank you so much. Cracking.
No problem. Of course,
Okay,
always.
cool. Karusha. Who is Karusha? Where did you grow up? How did you grow up? How was your upbringing?
Sure, girl. Okay, so I grew up in KZN in a suburb called Westville. Born and bred. I was born in Westville Hospital, lived in Westville all my life, went to all the Westville schools. Graduated from Westville Girls High in 2007. We, of course, know each other because we lived in Westville together and we went to
Yes.
junior primary school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty suburban upbringing, but I mean, that's what I thought my whole life. But I look back now and I realize that the things that kind of really made my upbringing different, maybe to a lot of people in my cultural space, in my race, in just kind of the dynamics of the time, were
Yeah.
that my parents were very liberal. My dad really kind of pushed us to have a world view, an international view,
Mm,
and really encouraged us to have an opinion, no matter how young we
mm,
were.
mm,
Family meetings every week where we would sit at the table and he would take notes and call a meeting and discuss things like how much money do you want to get a week for tuck money, and what are your feelings
yes.
about where we should go on holiday as a family, things like that. And
Yeah.
I look back now, and at the time it was normal to me and I didn't really think anything of it, but I realize now that what he was doing was encouraging us to have a voice, have an opinion, feel that it mattered. And we were allowed to discuss things all the time, you know, and only when I kind
Mm,
of interacted with other people did I realize, oh, okay, other parents don't do that. Other parents
mm,
go, this is an adult conversation, this is not for you, you aren't involved. Whereas my parents weren't like that. My dad was very much like,
mm.
join the conversation, watch this bit of CNN. This is what's happening in the world right now. This is why it's
Yeah.
important. This is going to matter.
Yeah.
You need to know about this. I
Yeah.
remember, obviously, we were in primary school together when
Yeah.
9/11
Yeah.
happened. And
Yes. Yeah.
my father phoned from work and said, put on the TV, put the news on. I'm coming home. Watch this. This is important. And that was like a
Mm,
small example of how he was all the time. This is
yeah.
important. You need to pay attention to this. This is why it's this, etc., etc. And this kind of emphasis on a worldview was always there my
Yeah.
whole life. And when I say worldview, I mean he was always conscious of exposing us to different cultures, different people. And anytime there was a different kind of representation that we encountered, he used it as
Mm,
an opportunity for us to learn. You know,
mm.
there was no, this is what we do, and then you don't have to know about anything else. There was no us and them. There was always this kind of, oh, kind of curiosity, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Curiosity
Yeah.
to know why people did things the way they did, understand where they came from, understand kind of everything about people. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that really influenced the way that I went through the world,
Yeah.
and am now very much, yeah.
Mm. That is so crucial. I think that your parents and your father played such a crucial role in your life, and also I feel like it assisted the way that the way it built your mentality and how you had an outlook on life, on people, on social things, political things, economical things, financial things.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think you're just so blessed to have parents and that had that mindset, that recognize the importance of sharing crucial information with children to broaden their perspective on life, and hopefully trust that their teachings will help them grow them and build them into becoming young great adults that they should be. So that's
Definitely.
really that's yeah, that was flipping amazing. And
So much
a lot of
perfect.
kids today
And I
unfortunately
had,
don't even
you know,
have that. Hmm. I mean, that's just
yes, no.
incredible.
Yeah, my
And
childhood wasn't
would you
perfect, my parents weren't perfect, but there were little things that really kind of shaped that. And I always say that to
yeah,
people. Like, obviously, I don't have kids yet, but I always say that even if you aren't getting it right all the time, you know,
yeah,
um, just try. And
yeah,
the things that you apply in your everyday life at work, and the things you know that work for stimulating a team, stimulating the best out of people, giving incentives, and
yes.
all of those things you can bring home. You know, this thing of
Mm,
the meeting table, whenever I tell people about that, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I remember being so
mm.
little, I had to have a cushion put on the dining room chair and I would sit on it. But I would be there with my, I want 5 rand this week,
Yeah,
starting this week
yeah,
on a Friday for tap money, because the price of Coke has gone up, the price of chips have gone up. And then my father would be like, oh, okay, noted. I no longer want peanut butter in my sandwiches. I now want X. Noted. It was silly, but it was significant. And he was smart to do that. And again, there wasn't consistency. There were times in obviously my parents are divorced now. So yeah, there were times when it wasn't always feasible to be this happy together family, but still it made an impact on me, which is why I say to you, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you try, it's important. Because that's what kids
100%. 100%. And would you, growing up as a child that came from that upbringing, that came from that environment, would you say that the things that you were interested in then are some of the things that you're still interested in now? Or did it change all the time depending on what age you were in or what phase of your life you were in growing up?
I think fundamentally it shaped me. So I think fundamentally I was always interested in that. But yeah, going through natural phases of life, then my attention and priorities would shift from school to boys to whatever. But yeah, fundamentally I was kind of always that person. And weird because I couldn't articulate how I felt or what my outlook was at a young age. And I had this kind of struggle when I would see these very clear, or what I knew to be wrong, very clear injustices. But I lived in a time and in a period where even if other people knew it too, it was not a space that you could talk about it. So then I was this like child kind of not lashing out, but kind of like bringing these things to the fore, like highlighting, hey guys, are you aware that this is not, what are you doing, kind of thing, you know? But again, I didn't have this kind of ability to articulate it at the time. I was just this little kid that was like, well, this is wrong, so do something about it, you know? And yeah, we just didn't live in a time where that was possible, which is why what's happening today makes me really happy and makes me helpful for my kids.
And also, like, what would you say that in particular is your unique power story, or what is the one story that you'd want to share with people right now that you feel will change their life in some sort of way, or give some sort of insight in whatever's happening in their life right now?
Oh, I don't have one story, girl. I mean, gosh, okay. Here's what I want to say. People need to, here's my big thing. The biggest investment anyone is ever going to make is in bettering themselves as a person. That's your biggest investment. And when I say that, I don't mean conventionally. In terms of, obviously, great education, formal education, and all that, do it.
Yeah.
But I mean who you are inside. And when I say that, this is what I mean. The human brain is an amazing thing, and it is upon which we have formed, we as society, as human beings, have formed most machines. Okay? And in that means that anything that happens, there are synergies. Nothing can stand alone. Nothing in and of itself is in isolation. Everything works together, right? That's okay, cool. So when something happens to you, your brain takes it and stores it as a memory and stores it as a default setting. You buy a new computer, you upload Windows onto it, Microsoft Office onto it, that's its default setting. Okay. So we know this about things like math and science. You learn 1 + 1 = 2 in school, you don't have to relearn it again, unless obviously there's extreme circumstances where you have to relearn something in life. But foundational things, 1 + 1 = 2, sharp, I got it. I know that for the rest of my life. This is the color blue. Oh, okay, that's the color blue for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's what you know. But what we don't do is when you learn emotions, when you are young. You don't teach yourself to relearn them if you need to. So if you come from a home where fighting and abuse is love to you, you go through life thinking that that's love. And when you are
normalize it.
to know better, you don't think to yourself, I need to reset this factory setting. You grow up in a home where you don't see empathy towards other people that don't look like you or don't talk like you or don't have the same history as you. And so you go through life and that's your default setting. Don't think to yourself, I need to change this. This is wrong. And that's what I mean when I say work on yourself. That's the best investment you will ever make. And so you need to take opportunities in life where life is showing you, oh, this default setting, it's not right, it's wrong. You learned this wrong.
Not right, yeah.
You learned this wrong. And say to yourself, oh, okay, I'm not a bad person. It doesn't make me a terrible human being. I just learned this wrong. Let me use this opportunity to learn it again.
And correct the wrong.
A lot of people, when they encounter somebody or life, whatever it is, a situation, a circumstance, a person, saying to them, oh, you haven't learned this right. They become defensive because they think it makes them a bad person. It doesn't. It doesn't. What you need to do is say to yourself, oh, okay, I'm going to make an effort to reset this setting. And it takes time because that's something you learn
all your life.
It takes a lot of time. But you need to be committed to it. And that's why I say you are the best investment you will ever make. And it's not just about getting a formal education, of course, it's part of it, yes. But it is about being able to say to yourself, what are the things I need to work on? What are the things that I need to do to be better? Because that's what I want, right? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm living. That's why I have a life. To be better. So that's my one advice. Please. My second thing is, in as much as people can learn vicariously through whatever mediums, you know, your friends, your family, watching Oprah, whatever. I think there are some lessons that, yes, can be learned vicariously, for sure. But sometimes in life, no matter how much you read, no matter how much you study, no matter how much you can see somebody else go through it, it's your life's journey to go through that and to live through it so that it can shape you. Now, I'm not saying that in learning and trying to learn vicariously through experiences and through teachings or whatever, that's a waste of time. It's not. Because what it does is it almost prepares you, but at the same time, you can't be prepared for something you don't know how to deal with. So that's why I'm saying sometimes it's unavoidable, you know. And so when I have these conversations with kind of women or anybody, and they say things to me like, oh, what's your advice for a woman in the workplace in a male-dominated scenario? What's your advice? I said, look, here's my advice, but my advice is coming from my personal experience. Your experience is not going to match mine. Not only is it not going to match mine in the external circumstances, but internally, I walked into that situation, this person, having this background. You and I, it's never going to be aligned. So at the same time, when you listen to Iyanla, when you listen to Oprah, when you listen to whoever, the person they were when they walked into their circumstances is not the person. It's not going to match. And so this thing of being able to, or being obsessed with, I don't know, self-help, you know, in order to, and then the adverse effect of that is that you become disappointed when life still puts you through that. You're like, but
what's happening?
For 6 years now. How did this happen to me? I've been talking about trash men for 10 years. How did I still? it's your journey, girl.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
needed to do it, you know, and you're not a bad person because it's happened to you.
Mm.
It's okay. It needed to, for something, for some sort of growth. And that's fine. I mean, again, don't stop empowering yourself with that knowledge,
Yeah.
but just don't put too much emphasis into that it's going to change the way you experience the world, because your experiences are there for a reason. Yeah.
I think that is such a powerful thing on its own, because I do think that a lot of people tend to make, I don't know, they tend to use like a template, right?
Yes.
Or as a solution to their personal inner problem that they've experienced, maybe like you said, from when they were young, and they just never took the time out to really understand themselves and how, or come up with their own unique solutions to make them a better person without feeling guilty for having had made mistakes in life or haven't had learned the wrong things. And now they find themselves in a situation where they can actually correct their wrong, but sometimes they feel guilty for going, you know what, I did this previously, and it was not the right way to do it, but this is how I'm going to grow from it and learn from it and become a better person, you know, from it. I don't think it's always advisable for people to take templates and use them for themselves to fix their problems and think that that's going to solve everything in life, you know.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
that's yeah. So being in
Because
the industry,
they're not doing the work underneath.
yes,
It's a
exactly,
surface solution, you know, surface level solution.
exactly. Exactly. So for people that don't know, what is the current industry that you're in, or the job that you've got, and how in that industry or in that position are you able to lead men if you're in situations where you lead men? Are there barriers in the current role that you have? And if so, how do you deal with those things on like a in your own unique way? I know that it can't be a template that someone else can use, but maybe something that you do that could make someone realize that, hey, maybe I should try that. Not
No, of
necessarily
course.
because I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to, but something that
No,
maybe
definitely
someone is stuck.
clarify.
Maybe someone
Yeah.
is, yeah,
I mean, what I said was pretty clear that, you know, sometimes
yeah.
in life, these experiences are things that you need to have. But, you know, the power of sharing stories, right? Sharing stories, sharing experiences is it makes you believe, or makes you feel like I'm not alone in this. This is not a unique situation. This has happened to other people before, and there's a sense of safety in that. There's a sense of reassurance in that. That, oh, okay, this is not just happening to me. So number one,
Yeah,
that's the power of
yeah.
story sharing. And when there's enough people that have experienced it and it becomes a movement, like Me Too or whatever it is, and minority movements like BLM, etc., what happens is that kind of upheaval where everyone kind of looks at each other and goes, oh, you say?
Me
Like,
too.
and then what happens is that they go, oh, okay, then there's something wrong with the setting, the institution. Then if we are all experiencing this, if this is happening to everybody, there's something wrong then with the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And then what that
Yeah.
then does is it allows for the bigger picture to change. And I think that's what people don't get about these types of movements, that even if you aren't actively involved, it is going to influence the way and the world that we live in 5 years from now.
Yes. Yeah.
And I always use the penny sparrow example. Racism and racist slurs for a very long time were criminalized in our country. They were never put into effect. The onus was on the person that it was put to go and find a lawyer, to go and institute a criminal injury action. Nobody had time or money for that. So the Human Rights Commission coming on board and saying, we will champion these cases, we will be the ones to take it to court. All you have to do is kind of make it public enough, or make it have some sort of evidence that, you know, it happened, and then we will be the ones to take it. And so when the penny sparrow thing happened, there was this huge upheaval in society about, punishing someone, and, you know, making them criminally liable for it. And we have murderers and rapists walking the streets and all of those sorts of things. And again, I mean, look, it's unfortunate that people don't know how to critically analyze, but when people bring up a versus thing in an argument, so we're talking about one crime and then people talk about, oh, but what about other crime that's not being prosecuted? Nobody is not caring about that crime. We acknowledge that murderers and rapists need to go to jail. Sure, good. Yes, it's a crime. But we are talking about this crime. And so there was huge kickback about it. I don't know if you remember, people were blah, 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 how can we do this, blah, 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 whatever. But where are we today? Where are we today? Are people quick? Yeah? Are people quick to throw racial slurs around? No, they're not. Are people aware that it's going to lose you your job, that it's going to lose you your societal position, that you are going to be... Yes, they're aware. And what has it done? Where are we now? We're in a safer place. Our children are in safer places because it's likely to happen less. And so this is what, you know, people are like, even if you don't want to actively be involved, sharp, but what it's going to do is it's going to change the environment in which we live. So anyway, back to the power of the story. So yeah, I went to law school. Went to law school, became a lawyer, and started working in the sports world. Almost immediately after I got my degree, I got a great opportunity to work for a football club called Sundowns, Mamelodi Sundowns. And it's owned by a businessman called Patrice Motsepe. He owns a group of companies within which Sundowns is situated. So Motsepe Foundation, Bota Commercial Enterprises, African Fashion International, etc. So within that group, I became in-house legal counsel and I worked for the group and specifically for Sundowns for about 6 years. Towards the end of that, I just kind of felt like, okay, what's my next right move here? I just kind of had this feeling like, where am I going next with this? And the person I reported to, obviously before Patrice, was the GM of Sundowns, and he was also a lawyer. And I thought, okay, so my career progression here is to become him. And I didn't want it. It wasn't something I wanted. And I was like, okay, no, this is not for me. And when I started having that conversation with myself, like, what's my next right step here? Funny enough, media came knocking at my door. And this opportunity to become a TV presenter kind of presented itself.
That was Mela, right?
Yes. So Mela is a TV show on SABC3. Everybody knows it as Eastern Mosaic. But the reason the name changed is because it moved channels. So it moved from SABC2.
Oh, so it was actually Eastern Mosaic that changed name to Mela.
It's the same show.
I know that.
It was Impressions, it was Eastern Mosaic, and now it's exactly the same show. It's just they moved channels. They moved from SABC2 to SABC. And I mean, the SABC is such an old institution, so a lot of us don't understand how it works. But basically, the channels have different MOs. What's another word? They have different KPIs. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right.
I get you.
They have different outputs. There we go. They have different outputs. And 3 is a lifestyle show. It got branded as a lifestyle show, whereas 2 was like soapy series, whatever. So when they moved across, then they had to change names, whatever. But anyway, yes.
Okay.
Cool. So they came knocking, and I was already, as I said, I had already thought about it. I had already was asking myself this question for about 6 months. It was swirling in my mind. So it just made sense to jump ship. And then I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? Because TV doesn't pay the same money that I've been earning at Sundowns. I still have bills to pay. So I was like, okay, I'll go out as a consultant and try and, you know, juggle them both. At least then I'll be able to have flexi time and whatever. And it kind of worked for a while. And then I got appointed to a working group in BRICS. So BRICS is...
Yes.
It's a multi-country, 5 countries that come together in order to facilitate trade between them. So
Right.
it facilitates trade between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Cool. So we call the countries chapters, and for the South African chapter, every country has got working groups within that. So the working groups speak to different sectors, work sectors. So agricultural, aviation, financial, whatever. I can't. My brain is not here. And yeah. And so I got asked to join the deregulation group, which is basically the group that goes to all the other working groups and says, hey guys, what are you trying to facilitate? What trade do you need and what barriers in your way? How do we regulate for you? And they needed a lawyer. Anyway, I got put on that and then as a secretary for that group. So I went to Shanghai, China for the midterm meeting. And when I was there, I met somebody and he was like, look, I really need a transaction advisor to do some due diligence for this transaction that I'm trying to see through. So I was like, cool, come on board, whatever. And then I ended up working for him because at the same time, coincidentally, this is how life works. He was like, oh, you know what, why don't you just come on as a legal manager because this is what we need at the moment. So that's what I did. Up until last year. Yeah, up until last year. And then I have just been looking for my next right thing. And yeah, I mean.
And how is that going?
I should go.
Are you at ease with it, or are you just like?
It's hard.
Because I can only imagine, like, it might be stressful on some days, or are you just like, you know what, whatever happens, happens, whatever comes, comes, or is it literally like a stressful thing? Because I can only imagine it is.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
You missed, you actually like you miss it, like you miss, what you left, or are you over it, or just?
It was fine because towards the end of the year, hey.
I'm saying that do you somehow find yourself missing what you left, or are you just anticipating the next thing rather? Or is it like a mix of like both feelings?
Yeah, I mean, a job, a relationship, anything that plays a steady role in your life, you become emotionally and mentally attached.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad for you. Even if it's bad for you. So what you actually miss is the routine of that. Being able to get up every day and go and do that.
Yeah.
And so in the initial stages of that, whether again, job, relationship, whatever, you'll miss that. The need to get that back is so great for you. But over time, when you give yourself a little bit of breathing room, then you start to say to yourself, actually, it's not what I want.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't for me. Actually, this has happened for a reason. Actually, I need to now focus on, instead of just getting it back, focus on what I actually want. Yeah. And for me, I think it feels like the longest time, because it's based, I'm talking about like 2017 now. From 2017 to now, it feels like I have been trying to find and chase the perfect position that will fulfill me. Fulfillment. That's what I've been trying to chase. And yeah, lockdown has brought all sorts of feelings and revelations, but but I feel I feel like I need to align what I'm really good at, plus what I enjoy doing, into what it is I eventually end up doing. Because
I can completely understand that.
Yeah, I'm good at what I do. I'm good at law, I'm good at contracts, I'm good at transaction advising, I'm good at, labor law. I'm good at it. Do I like it?
I get it.
60% of it I like, sure.
Yeah.
60% of
I
the time.
completely get it. I completely get it. It's so weird that you say that because I'm literally like in the same boat myself. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if it's age or I don't know, but I'm finding myself in a situation where I'm like, you know what, I have to do something that fulfills me. Like it's gotten to a point where like I would rather wake up and be happy and fulfilled and content and be at peace and be genuinely at peace, like literally genuinely at peace, and obviously be able to make the money that I need to make. And I know it seems too perfect in the world that we live in because it is life. Life is life. You can't have the best of both worlds all the time. But I
Yeah.
So, but I know that obviously things are going to happen for you, of course. Like, there's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of you not compromising on exactly that. Your happiness, your peace, your fulfillment, the love for whatever you're doing, and obviously making the money, but having a great time while you're doing it and enjoying what you're doing. I think it's so important. I feel like women also, like, we have this thing of like, I need to get married now, have kids now, buy my first house at this age, because we're chasing money, we're chasing those titles that we dreamed of having, but quite often we forget about contentment and peace and just being happy and being passionate and waking up and going, damn it, I'm great at what I do and I flip and love it. I'm actually having a blast doing it.
And the tough thing is there's no straight path to that,
Yeah,
because that's what I
yeah,
thought. I thought,
yeah,
oh, okay, if I'm able to do this, and I did it,
yeah,
I did it. I bought my first house at
yeah,
23, bought my dream car at
exactly. You
25.
picked everything.
I did it. I ticked all the boxes. I was there.
Exactly.
But I was unhappy. I
Yeah.
was genuinely unhappy. I was genuinely unfulfilled. And I
Mm.
mean, of course, in the moment, it's great, and you are.
Yes.
But I look
Because
back
you're
now and
achieving
I think
things.
to
Yeah.
myself, yeah, I mean, and again, my middle life wasn't bad. I'm not
Yeah.
looking back like, oh, it's horrible. No, no, no. It was fine.
Yeah.
But I want something more now. I just do.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I can't sit here and tell people, don't
Yeah.
go get it. If that's what you need.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it,
Yeah.
buy it. If that's what you need to
Yeah.
do it. That's what I was talking about
Exactly.
earlier. Like, walk your journey. Do your thing.
Exactly.
Don't discourage, like, I'm not here to discourage you. If that's what you need, do it, please. Because I
Do
needed it.
it.
Nobody could tell me otherwise. So
Mm. Mm.
that was my measure of how good I was at my job, of how
Mm.
good I was as a person, that I was
Mm.
able to be successful enough to get these things at this age. That for me was
Yes.
what mattered then. And if that's what matters, get it, do it.
Yeah.
But
I completely agree.
now I'm like, okay, sharp, I've done it. I know where my measurements of fulfillment comes in when I do
Mm.
achieve these things. And
Mm.
great, cool. I still
Mm.
want more. I do.
Mm.
And the problem
Mm.
is this path to more doesn't exist. And
Hey.
it's hard. Because you're like, but now I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything. What do you want from me, life? What do you want? Make me happy. Fulfill me. But it's not
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to figure
Yeah.
out here and here all these kinds of things about, yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Well, babe.
life is this constant thing of trade-off. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
trade-off.
It is. I've learned a lot, and I'm just so happy that we had this chat. And yeah, I actually feel great that we spoke about these things because a lot of the things that you mentioned, I can relate to, and I'm actually going through similar things that you're going through right now, which is
Yeah.
which is crazy. And obviously, a lot of people are going through the same thing. I just hope that people are strong enough to just keep going because some people are not as strong as maybe you are. Some person right now is listening to this and going, yeah, I'm in the same boat, but they're not feeling as strong and as motivated as we are right now. So I just pray for all those people that are in this situation, that they don't give up on themselves, they don't give up on their happiness, they don't give up on anything, because life is here to be lived and enjoyed. So we can't give up, we just gotta keep going,
I
and
mean,
that's
if
that.
anybody is out there thinking, oh, I'm not strong enough, I'm not strong enough. I don't,
Yeah.
if people have the impression that I'm strong, or whatever. I'm not. I'm not.
You're
I
going through it, yeah.
constantly have thoughts about what am I doing? Have I fucked up my life? Or am I making the right decisions? Am I going to regret this? Whatever it is. And this is pertaining to everything. All the things in life, all the choices, you know, across all the spheres, not just the work sphere.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, that ability
Thank you.
to kind of back yourself is
100%.
what you've
I
got.
just want to say thank you so much for connecting or reconnecting with me, rather. It's been such a long time. I'm so glad to see you still looking amazing and still the Kerusha that I know, and even better, obviously. I mean, it's been so long. Obviously, you're even better. And thank you for being always so kind, so gracious, you know, so yourself. You know, you've always been that kind of person who's just been like, yeah, it is what it is. I am who I am, take it or leave it type of thing. And that's what I've always respected and admired about you, you know. So thank you for just taking out the time to chat with
Nice
me
of you to
tonight.
Such
Sorry?
a pleasure. I said thank you. That's
Oh.
so nice to say. And yeah, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I want to just say, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you to everyone that also joined this conversation. We see you, and I love you guys so much, and I appreciate everyone that actually took out their time to join this conversation. And wishing everyone a fantastic week. Let's make it count. I know I'm not looking forward to it, but hey, such is life. You know, what can I do? I gotta do what I gotta do. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much, my friend. We'll chat soon, eh?
Cheers. Bye, babe.
Bye.
How do we end this?
Okay, so now we need to end this.
I don't know how. It's the whole thing, isn't it?
Wait. Let's try this.